Hi, Maria here and welcome to my channel. Today I am super excited. I hope you are too. I have decided to create a tag called a perfume for each of the women inside me. Now, my thinking behind it is that as women, there are so many different roles that we play, so many different hats that we wear, and I wear a different perfume for each one of those roles. Perfume is almost like a soundtrack in our life, where sometimes it takes a back seat, sometimes it's more in the forefront, but fragrance evokes emotion, and sometimes it can bolster our confidence. Sometimes it puts us in a mood. So depending on what I'm doing and who I'm wanting to portray, I'm gonna wear a different perfume. And so, yeah. Before I get started though, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll wait. I would love it if you would join the Weird and Wonderful family. And for all of you that have subscribed and come and watch every week, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you watching week after week and you leaving comments. It's just really wonderful. I love interacting with you. I love building this community. So thank you. Thank you very much. And without further ado, let's get started. I've tagged people at the very end, so please stay till the end and find out if you're tagged. But if you haven't been tagged, I want to welcome you to play the game anyway. The reality is that I play tons of tags that I haven't been tagged in because I just think it's fun. So consider yourself tagged even if I don't mention you. The first person inside of me, I would say it is part of who I am, and that's kind of the eccentric oddball that kind of beats to her own drum. That's kind of me. So yeah, like that's me. That's kind of how I would describe myself. I kind of don't flow with the status quo and kind of do me. And so the fragrance that I've chosen for that is By the Fireplace by my Maison Margiela's Replica. Now, the reason why I picked this one is just, it's different. It's nothing like I've smelt before in all the fragrances that I've smelt throughout the years. This is the most unique, I would say, that I have. Now, part of the reason why I find it unique is because it smells like a wood-burning fire. It's more of a unisex scent, but it leans a little bit feminine, I would say, because it has marshmallow and chestnut and vanilla. So it's this warm scent, but then with this wood-burning fire going kind of throughout the whole entire perfume. As it warms up on the skin, it gets more vanillic and marshmallowy, but you still get that little bit of wood-burning fire, and it just smells cozy. It's definitely different, and it's my one for the slightly eccentric woman. So the next category is superhero. Now, obviously I'm not really a superhero. However, as women, we kind of are. Like, we put on different hats. We have to do tons of different roles and multitask. And as far as I'm concerned, that's superhero enough. But there's part of me that always wished that I was like a full-on superhero. And I'm pretty sure that my superpowers would be to fly and teleport like here, there, and everywhere. Like, I'd love to do that. I'd love to teleport and just go for coffee right now in Paris. I'm always thinking about Paris. Anyway, so when I was a girl growing up, my favorite two shows were Wonder Woman back in the 80s, and I just loved her. I loved how strong she was. I loved how virtuous she was, and the fact that she had this lasso of truth that she just, and people would have to tell the truth, all of that. I loved it. I loved her weird, like, her weird cuffs and just everything about her. I just thought she was amazing. Strong, amazing woman. And then the other one that I loved was Bionic Woman. I don't know, like, I'm telling you how old I am now, but the Bionic Woman, I just loved her. She had bionic legs, I think arms, and an ear, and whenever she'd go into bionic mode, it would be like they'd slow down the camera and it would be like this, and I would watch the show and then I would spend like a good hour pretending to be her afterwards, walking through the house in slow motion going So I loved those two characters. And what was really awesome is back in the 80s, it's not like there were a ton of shows with strong female leads. I loved the fact that they were great role models and, you know, they stood for virtue and they were heroes. And so if I was a superhero, the perfume that I would wear would be Shaghoff Oud. Now, to me, this is mysterious. You know, a superhero, a lot of times their identity is hidden. This is mysterious, but it's really strong because of the oud. But it's also got a fragility and an innocence and a love, like the virtuous aspect, I would say, is the rose. And then there's a sweetness to it, which is the human side of them, which is the praline. Saffron fits in there somewhere, but this exudes superhuman. And I know House of Sillage came out with a Wonder Woman perfume, but I'm pretty sure that Wonder Woman wears Shaghoff Oud. Now the next woman inside me is the classy, rich, royal queen, the one that, you know, presents herself dignified and classy and elegant and subdued. Something that I'm not really, but sometimes I have to be that person, and so I would choose Coco Mademoiselle for that one. First of all, I love the bottle on this one. I just think it's timeless and it's elegant looking and it matches the perfume inside. This one, the opening is citrus, but it's a real warm citrus, not that tart, bright citrus. And then in the mid, it's got some florals, and in the dry down, it's got like, I think there's vetiver, tonka, patchouli, and oak moss. And so this is just a beautiful, well-rounded scent. It's not overpowering, but it is long-lasting. So you'll be able to smell it. It smells classy and elegant. And then it also lasts nice, but as it dries down, you get a little bit of that spice from the vetiver and the oak moss. And so I just think this is lovely. Longevity is fantastic, super elegant, super classy. I feel like a lady when I put this on. And so, yeah, this would be for my rich royal. The next woman inside me is the wistful, romantic dreamer. She's the one that thinks about walking through, you know, the fog in this beautiful long dress, and it's kind of foggy and you're walking through a field, and yeah, like kind of like a scene from Pride and Prejudice. That's what I think of when I think of romantic, wistful dreamer. And the scent I would choose for that is Dolce Garden. I'm not sure why, but to me this is just super romantic. It's sweet, it's coconutty, it's a little bit airy somehow, and I've just kind of fallen in love with this one. It took me a bit, but I love it. And it just, to me, is so romantic. Even the bottle, to me, is a romantic bottle. The pink with the floral cap. It just is romance in the bottle. Like dreamy, wistful. Yes, this deliciousness is all of that. So when I kind of feel that way, this is what I would choose. Now the next woman inside me is the nurturer, like the mom. You know, that woman that just kind of is caring and she looks after those around her and she wants to make everyone feel welcome and warm. Yeah, so kind of the hospitable nurturer type side of me would be Mon Guerlain. This one, like even when I smell it, like as soon as I smell it, I just feel warm inside. And I think part of it is because it has lavender in it, and lavender was a scent that I always used. I had this massage oil when my son was a baby, and after a bath I would you know, put the oil on him, and it was it had a light lavender scent. And so whenever I smell lavender, I just think of that time and it makes me feel all momish inside, I guess. It's sweet. There's a bit of powder in there from, I think it's the iris or violet. But anyway, it's just, I think it's the violet, but maybe I'm wrong. I digress. But yeah, there's that powdery sweetness. You know, I just think about a hug, and then that lavender is comforting. So to me, this is like mom, or, you know, for those of you that aren't mom, you know, every woman has a certain, I think most women have like a nurturing capacity in them. So this brings that out. Now the next character or woman inside me is the woman of mystery. She's the spy. She's like a James Bond, but she's a woman. Now, this is one that isn't me, but I wish was me. So if that woman was part of me, or if I want to feel like that woman, I'm going to put on Versace's Crystal Noir. Now, I've talked about this one a ton too. This one, it's got a peppery opening. It's kind of a little bit cold. Yeah, it smells aloof and it smells mysterious. And so to me, this one's perfect for, like, you know, a female James Bond who's hot on the trail of some sort of supervillain. And she, you know, sometimes she disguises herself, but she kind of is just, you never really get to know who she is. She's slightly mysterious, super sexy, always on point, and slightly a little bit bad, like a little bit nasty. She does what it takes to get the job done. So if that were me, it's kind of what I want to be. So when I want to pretend to be that spy, seriously, when I was growing up, I pretended to be a spy all the time. Like, I'd sneak around the house pretending that I was basically James Bond. So when I want to be that woman, I put on Crystal Noir. Now the next woman is the adventurer. So she's the world traveler, the one that goes everywhere. She'll go off on a whim. You know, that's where the teleportation would come in handy, because I could go to Paris for coffee in the afternoon, and then I could head to Rome or go to South America in an instant. So that adventurous spirit, that one that wants to take on the world and just experience lots of stuff. Really, whether you're traveling or just want to experience lots of different aspects in life. The perfume that I would choose for that one is by Swiss Arabian, and it's called El Amachen. And part of the reason why I chose this as the adventure scent is this bottle. As soon as I saw it, it reminds me of Aladdin and Jasmine, like the crown, or kind of almost like a turban. Somehow it totally reminds me of that. And then the scent inside is potent. It's syrupy. It's got lots of ingredients. Like, it smells like it's just full, like it's dumped full of fruit and flowers and just a real mix. And kind of goes in all sorts of directions. So to me, I think this one also, it reminds me of La Vie Belle. So that kind of scent where there's just like a mosh of fruit and thick syrupy sweetness. And so to me, that's perfect. Like, even La Vie Belle, life is beautiful. And the person that just kind of seizes life is the adventurer to me. And so I thought this scent was perfect for that. I really like this one. In fact, I think I'm going to wear this one today. It's potent. It smells like it's got patchouli in it. It's fruity. It's floral. It's like a big, huge bomb of scent. And I think it's perfect for the adventurer. That adventurous spirit wants to take on the world, wants to do lots of things. El Amachen. Now the next scent is the executive, the powerful type A woman. She's a decision maker. I'm definitely a decision maker. And when I want to feel powerful and a little bit like Miranda Priestley, I'm going to reach for Prada La Femme. And the fact that it's a Prada scent makes it even better. This one, it smells clean. It smells rich. It's mainly tuberose in it. So it just gives that kind of clean, classy, rich smell to it. But then it's got a little bit of spice in it, which kind of makes it a little bit sexy on top of it. And yeah, when I smell this, the woman I instantly think of is Miranda Priestley. And sometimes you just kind of got to be that person. You got to make decisions. You've got to, execute orders or whatever. So this would be the perfect scent for that. Now, the next woman inside me is the brooding, slightly moody musician or creative person. So I wouldn't say I'm overly moody, but I am brooding at times and pretty intense. I am a musician, I play guitar, I sing, I write music. And so when I want to be that person, the scent that I think of instantly is tobacco vanille. And I think part of the reason why I think of it is, back in the day, it's been a long time, but I used to sing a lot of times with my cousin, and we would sing in pubs or we would sing in coffee houses, that sort of thing. And to me, this scent, you get the tobacco, a little bit of booze, there's dried fruit in here. And to me, it just kind of smells like, a real rustic pub. Like I think about, like my cousin did a lot of Celtic music. So, we did some Celtic stuff, and this just smells like a Celtic pub to me somehow. And so, yeah, I love this. And honestly, this just evokes moodiness in me. Like when I put on tobacco vanille, I feel brooding, I feel moody, I feel, yeah, it brings out the creative to me. So tobacco vanille for the moody, brooding musician slash creative. And really, so many of us, especially if you're on YouTube, but just in general, there's so many different creative outlets, from food to music. I love drama, all of that kind of stuff. Right now, what I'm being super creative in is I do a lot of furniture refinishing and love kind of doing different things or whatever. So, there's so many different ways that a person can be created, but for my moody, brooding creatives, tobacco vanille is perfect. For the woman, or maybe she's more of a girl, that is cheery and happy and just kind of loves life, and she just kind of, she walks into a room and she brings life with her. Honestly, that is me. That's, besides the eccentric one, that I would say is me the most. Like sometimes I get in a mood, but for the most part, I try to make the world a better place. I try to bring light into situations. And so if I were, when I want to be that woman, that cheery, vivacious girl that's always got a smile on her face and brings life with her, I would choose Sophia by Sofia Vergara. I just love this one. When I smell it, it smells cheery. When I smell it, it makes me happy. It's classy, it's kind of pinky, it just smells like life to me. It smells pretty, vivacious, a little bit bubbly, and I think this is perfect for, the life-giving, I wouldn't say life of the party because I wouldn't consider myself that, but I like to bring smiles to people. I like smiling. I like going to the grocery store and smiling at the cashiers and just chatting with them and making their day a little bit brighter if possible. That kind of thing. So for the girl that's like that, Sophia by Sofia Vergara is perfect. Now the next woman inside of me is a fantasy woman. And it's an elven princess. It would be wrong for me not to mention the elven princess, because basically, since I was in high school, I've wanted to be an elven princess. Like, I started getting into, like, kind of the fantasy novels, and I wanted to be, I think her name was Bryn, and she was in this Elf Stones of Shannara, or one of the Shannara books, and I totally wanted to be an elf. And then I basically wanted to be an elf ever since. And when Lord of the Rings came out, I wanted to be an elf even more. So, for my woodland fairy or my woodland elven princess, can you guess what it is? Because if you've been in my channel, or if you've watched my channel for a while, you probably can guess it. It's Lalique's Amethyst. This smells like, fruits of the forest. So berries, like darker berries, but with the greenery and the stems, almost as if, like I've said before, it smells like it's all moshed together, but as if you, picked up kind of a branch, it had dark berries and leaves, and it had been raining, and you smell the branch with the berries and the leaves. That's what this smells like to me. So to me, this is perfect. So perfect for an elven princess. So the next woman inside me is the seductress. That fierce, gorgeous, sensual woman. Honestly, that's not really me. But if I want to feel like her, I put on Alien Essence Absolute. My guess is you do that too. Oh, I just love this scent. To me, this is resinous. You get the Alien in there, and Alien already is kind of a man-eater perfume. But then, at least it is for me. Like, I love it. So then with the vanilla and the resin and kind of the incense in there, oh, this is so sexy. This perfume is, to me, it's like an aphrodisiac. It's just amazing. So for the seductress in us, this one's perfect. So the last woman inside me is the independent, strong woman that doesn't need anybody. Now, I would say that this is to a certain extent me as well. Now, I love people. I love being nurturing and caring. I love like interacting. So that's all good. But I don't feel like I need anybody to feel satisfied with who I am. I don't feel like there's a big gaping hole that I'm needing a person to fill in any capacity. So the perfume I've chosen for that woman, and part of it is just because of the name, is I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. I totally feel this way. I don't need anybody to complete me. I'm already completed. Thank you very much. Now that doesn't mean that I don't love my husband, because I absolutely do. But I do not need a man. I don't need anybody to fill that void for me. So part of the reason why I also chose this perfume was it has a green tea kind of note. Like there's a tea note in here. There's marshmallow. It's quite sweet. But when I smell this, when I smell the little bit of that tea smell in it, it reminds me of before I got married. And for whatever reason, I always kind of wanted to smoke. Maybe that's why I like tobacco biddies so much. I love the smell of tobacco, but I never wanted to smoke because I didn't want to get addicted. And I was pretty sure that if I took a drag on something that I would. But I really loved the idea for some reason. So when I was, like before I got married, and I was living in this tiny little weird apartment, and you could climb out the window and be on the roof of the building next to it. And I would go out there and I would roll myself a cigarette made of tea, which is so whack job. But what I would do is I'd go sit out on my balcony and I'd have my little paper and I'd put tea in there and I'd roll it up and then I'd sit there smoking it. And unfortunately, I think it smelt a little bit more like marijuana than anything, but I'd just smoke my tea and enjoy my own company. And so this kind of reminds me of that for some reason with that green tea note. This has marshmallow in it. I love the smell of this. But with that tea note in there, that's the first thing I think of. And I was completely by myself during that time and I enjoyed it. Like this little seedy apartment, I didn't want a microwave. I didn't want a TV. All I did was I'd cook my food on my stove and then I would write music. Actually, that's what I did mostly. You know, and I had this weird little double set tape recorder and I'd kind of like flip them back and forth and do harmonies on it. And I just had fun. And I was by myself and I'd go to my work and then I'd go home and keep myself company and really enjoyed it and smoke my weird tea cigarettes, which I don't recommend, by the way. So I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. Hallelujah. Amen. So that is it. Those are all the different women inside of me. I want you to feel free to be tagged, or if you want to change it up a little bit and do it how you want, you go ahead and let me know in the comments. What perfumes would you choose for these women? I'll leave the categories in the description. But as far as who I want to tag, The first person that I want to tag is Maria from ItsMJ. I just love her. Like, she's one of my favorites. I enjoy watching her. I don't miss a video of hers. And I love the way she describes perfumes. So I would love for her to join. I also would love if Chereye Lewis would join. Now, she is vivacious and she's a bit crazy and she's always talking about good, and she's just full of energy, and I just love her. I'm taking her. I would love to know what she would choose for these categories. The next person I want to choose is Tara from Olfactophiles, and the reason being is, first of all, she's had a lot of interesting jobs, like from her Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, if you like. I'll leave the link down below. But Tara from Olfactophiles, she's had lots of interesting jobs. She's quite a character, and she's got this phenomenal collection. Like, I watched her entire perfume collection. It was a series of, I think, 4 or 5 videos, and in that, her collection is astounding. So I would love to know what she would choose for these categories. I also would love for Manahil from Perfume Realm to join in. She's got beautiful perfumes as well, but I love the way she describes perfumes. She's so poetic. So I would love for her to do the tag. And also Neesha from Spicy Looks. She is such a sweetheart. She's my friend. Please go check her channel out. And yeah, she's got an amazing collection as well. So I'd love to know what she would choose for these women. And anybody else that would like to play, please feel free. I would love for you to do it. And if I've tagged you personally. So anyway, those 5 women I am tagging specifically, but please, please, please feel free to do this tag. Yeah, it would be awesome. It would be awesome if you played the game. And if you do tag, please like kind of just send me a link or whatever so that I know, like either hashtag me or whatever so that I know that you've done it so that I can support you in it. So that's it. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope that you enjoyed this. It was kind of a little bit different, kind of just a little bit fun, and also a way to get to know me a little bit. So that's it. Hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.